Hey guys, Ryan here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about one of the easiest ways to improve your aim, and all it really is just working on your eyes and learning to aim with your eyes. I'm going to end up breaking this video into 3 parts, and the very first part we're going to begin with is where your eyes go, your aim goes. So we're going to first begin with the concept of centering, and then we're going to talk about flicking. So when you talk about centering, you're essentially just putting your crosshair where you think the enemy is most likely to come from, and this has everything to do with your eyes. You're only going to center where your eyes are looking at, and you're probably saying to yourself, well yeah, I'll just pre-aim, blah blah blah. Sorry for that annoying obnoxious voice, but this is what I imagine a lot of people are saying to themselves, and no, you aren't getting it. Whenever you're just running about, you aren't preemptively looking at where the enemy most likely is. You don't understand how much time you aren't actually spent putting your eyes where the enemy's most likely at, and this is costing you. If I were to put an eye tracker thing on a webcam on you and watch your gameplay, and I'm just talking about the average player here, so if this isn't you, I apologize, but if this is you, you need to listen. If I were to put an eye tracker on you, your eyes would probably be looking at the ground, it would be looking at the sky, it would be looking at your loot, your plates, how many kills, things that aren't important. You wouldn't be scanning the horizon, you wouldn't be looking on head glitches, you wouldn't be looking at buildings, and what this causes is that means you aren't looking at where the enemies are most likely to be at, and this is getting you killed. You cannot shoot something you don't see, and if your eyes aren't looking where your enemy's most likely to be, you're just gonna die repeatedly, even if it's a close range gunfight, long range gunfight, whatever. Predicting where your enemy's going to be is a massive part of getting your eyes on them, but the second part is just having the eye discipline to keep it centered on your screen, to keep focused on your enemies, and that's why it's super easy to improve your aim, because all you have to do is just look at where your enemies are most likely going to be, because your aim's going to go where your eyes are going to go. We're going to move into the second topic, and this is going to be don't tunnel vision. There is a time and a place to finish your opponents, but if you want to get 1v3s like you see in the background, like you see from probably your favorite players that you watch on YouTube, Twitch, wherever, you need to start looking for enemies, and you need to stop focusing on down people so much. The only people you should really tunnel vision are the people self-reviving, and that's only when they're at the end. You are spending too much time aiming at people who are not threats to you. When someone is down, they are not a threat. If they're selfing, yeah, they can become a threat, so you need to get rid of them. But until then, they are just sitting there, minding their own business, not able to shoot you. So let them be and focus and get your vision on people who are actually a threat to you. A big part of this is getting used to using your peripheral vision, and I'm going to explain what I mean in this clip. So I'm going to kill the first person because I play the angle properly, I'm going to center well, my eyes were proper. But then I know the second guy's near, and look what happens. So I'm aiming at the right, and I see that movement from my left, and once I see that on my peripheral vision, I snap onto it, I aim in, and I just snap to him and get the kill. That's a prime example of where your eyes go, your aim goes, and why being tunnel visioned is so bad, because if I was, I wouldn't have seen that guy. If I didn't use my peripheral vision, I wouldn't have seen him. And you can really tell in this background clip how important it is. I'm going to juggle my aim between 3 people, and it's all because of my peripheral vision. I'm able to see where each of the other person I wasn't shooting at was at. I don't know if that makes sense, but when you watch in slow motion, I'm able to snap onto the people I'm not aiming at because my peripheral vision is telling me where they're at. And if at any point in this clip I was too tunnel vision or focused on one person, I wouldn't have been able to kill all 3 people, and I probably would have died. So before I wrap this section up, just remember, don't thirst too much, keep your eyes up when fighting full squads, and just keep your wits about you and don't tunnel vision too hard. So now moving into the third topic, and this one's kind of unfortunate, but hardware cannot be ignored, guys. So this can be broken down into 2 different sections. One is the TV monitor you're playing on, and the other is going to be the console, PC, whatever else you're playing on. And I'm going to start with the PC thing. So if you're on a PS4 or the Xbox One, not an Xbox Series X or PS5, you are not getting good FPS, and this means you are not having enough frames to actually see your opponents on your screen, and you have to really be aware of this. The second thing is if your FPS isn't good enough, let's say you had a good monitor, which is the second thing I'm going to talk about, it wouldn't even matter because you don't have enough frames to match up with the hertz of the monitor you probably paid for. So you aren't getting to see your opponents, and you probably don't understand what I mean. But if I have 120 frames per second and you have 40, that means I'm essentially seeing 3 times more frames than you are, and this is a massive advantage. This is going to make it so much easier for my eyes to see my opponent. This is going to make it so much easier for me to even see my opponent, and there's not going to be a massive delay in some gunfights from when I actually see my opponent and when he jumped around the corner. This is why it's a twofold type thing. If let's say you're on a PS4 and a 60 Hz monitor, you're kind of screwed, guys. I'm not kidding. You are losing so many gunfights because you can't even see your opponents properly, and that's not your fault. I understand it's not something people can easily change. Maybe you don't have the money, maybe you don't have the funds, and I can't blame people for that. That's not something you should have to worry about, but it's something you have to be aware of. If let's say you have an opportunity to go from a PS4 to a PS5, an Xbox One to an Xbox Series X, maybe you have a chance to build a PC or something like that, it's worth it in my opinion. But only if you really care about Warzone like that, or if you just care about your performance in almost any PvP related game. The second thing is you also need a monitor or a TV capable of handling the frames you're outputting. If you had a PS5 that could do 120 FPS, but your monitor can only output 60 Hz, well, you're not really going to see the benefit. You are going to see a slight improvement from the PS4 because it's going to be at 60 FPS rather than 40 to 50 what it's like, but the difference is you aren't going to get the full 120 FPS glory, and that's something you have to be aware of. When you are researching monitors, and if you're serious about gaming, do not get a TV, guys. Get a monitor. I'm telling you, the difference in response time, all of that will make a massive difference. A monitor is 100% the way to go. Just make sure it's PS5 compatible. Make sure it's compatible with whatever you're getting. Do a quick Google search. It will save you time and money, and just know it really adds up and makes a massive difference in your ability to aim. I'm going to start wrapping this video up, guys. I just want to say thank you for all the support recently. Thank you for watching the videos. I hope you have a good day. It's been Ryan. Peace.